Hi everyone, welcome back to another trading day. I'm Johan Milan, and today, Monday, 5 February 2024, my trade setup directions for today will be long on the CAD, the US dollar and the Swiss franc, and short on the pound, the euro and the Australian dollar. First pick of the day is a potential short on the euro yen, but before we proceed, remember that trading carries risk and never trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. And at the end of this video, I'll show you my favorite trade idea for today. So let's get started and turn pips and points into profits. On the euro much weaker than the yen. Yen fighting with the Swiss up there. But you remember that the yen was way up there last week, and I said with the Bank of Japan usually interfering, they push it up and then it just slowly but surely dribbling down. That's the only thing that worries me slightly about this trade. But my big focus here is to be short on the euro, and this is a way of getting short on the euro. So still the same level as last week. You got this big swing here. If it retraces back to that market structure, it missed it on Friday, but if it retraces back there today, I'll then consider some shorts and some nice pattern reversals there. In the pound Australian dollar, last week Friday, I said we got the break, the retest, and a very nice candle reversal there. If I'm going to zoom in, you'll see here that we had the long black candle coming in there. Then the test, most likely on the news on Friday, everything was bullish dollar. You can see while I'm there, you can see the dollar went from right bottom spot on Friday to the number one spot on all the bullish news on Friday. So yes, but that spike must have been created by the news. And then nice close up there, the white candle there, closing above the halfway mark there. You can see long black, small bodies below that one, and nice long white coming up there. Right, so that gives me a very nice morning star. Started run up well, and always good to do the sweet spot levels also, meaning the halfway mark right there. And if you look at the pound up there and Aussie, I'm thinking a little bit twice about the sweet spot. So that for me, if you trade on Fridays, nothing wrong with that if you want to trade on Fridays. If you traded that part there, 100% fine. Sweet spot, I'm getting a little bit worried about the position there, but you can see how the pound in New Zealand is, they're fighting for that red spot. So the pound was just now in the red, now it's in the gray area, the neutral area. You see, if you get it in this area, I would be fine, pound, Aussie, but when they're the same color, I'm a little bit worried. So let's see. Nonetheless, there and all, that's two entries, 100% fine with that. Stop loss risk on this trade started up there, and you're looking at about, and which is not bad for a cross, about a 90 pip risk. And if you did the halfway mark here now, you're looking at about a 70 pip risk. All right, so we're looking at about a 150, 140, 130. And the obvious place to start out is the Fibonacci levels, from there to there. And if you see from your entry, from there, see that's about a 150 to 1.27. So that's in any case a beautiful target there. Right, let's just see how it correlates with the history. And there's no history to work with really. If we go to the dailies, there's a little bit of a daily level there, which is too low. Right, so daily, you find some resistance coming in there, but I guess we will have to settle for the 4-hour 1.27 Fibonacci level, and that'll give you from there, that gives you the 140, 150 from the halfway mark. It gives you about 160, 170 for a stop loss of between 70 to 90. Depends on exactly where you selected your entry. But got the retest reversal. Let's monitor this and see how it goes. If it goes up from here up to a new high, then we can trail the stop loss here. But at present, there's nothing you can do. You just sit with the stop loss down there and wait for the market to play out. Brent oil, sadly, this is one of my more disappointing trades. Got the long there on the hammer candle, ran up, missed my target, and just dribbles down the page. This will happen from time to time. Get used to it, that's the markets. Usually it just runs and then retraces a little bit and then bounce off again. This one, it is oil, you know. Have a cup of oil and then understand how difficult it will be to trade it. If you can swallow a cup of Brent crude oil, If you can muster all the energy to do that, then you can trade oil. You know, it's the same as gold. Have a bite at a piece of gold and see how hard it is to trade gold. So Brent will at times give you amazing trades, and then at times it will do this kind of thing, and then you go like, man, I feel pretty violated. But all right, no problem. So this trade is then done. I would not enter into anything new here. This triangle pattern is basically busy failing. It has gone below this rising trend line now. So for now, I will completely step aside and I'll remove this from the watch list for today. Then the Euro CAD. Now this is a very nice, people always, if you read books and you watch a lot of YouTube videos, people always tell you, this is how you trade a sideways market. And that's usually nonsense, because by the time you spot a sideways market, it's done. They would usually put up a stochastic there or some form of an oscillator, because oscillators gives you very nice signals in sideways markets. But you never know if it's sideways until it happened. I mean, you could have not rated this sideways up to this point. We had 3 potential shorts, and this is where the sideways markets, where the 1 hour trades comes in very, very, very handy if you watch the markets. If I move this to the 1 hour charts, we had that short, a little bit of a profit. We had that short, break even exit. And then we had Friday another short with a nice target. And that's just profit, break even, profit. Big profit, this one here, in fact. So yeah, that's the closest you'll ever get to trading a sideways market. Really, I'm not using indicators for this. You can see I'm just using price action. But after having that trade there, if you look at the 4 hour charts, you see very nicely, you've identified on a higher time frame your level at 4 hours in a nice trade zone with a trend, looking at a strength. There's always the 3 aspects to trading: the trend, your entry, and the strength. Okay, the strength of your currencies, which one? Without those 3 things, you can not do it. The 4th thing is then obviously stuff like support, resistance. You can bring in other stuff also if you want to after that, but that's the major 3 things. And then the 4th one, support, resistance. You then want to bring in a stochastic and stuff like that for overbought, oversold scenarios. It's fine, but candles are much better than that. Right, but this one here gave you a bearish engulfing. You can see here was a medium-sized body there. If it was small, you would step away. It was medium or large, wrapping around that body. Nice bearish engulfing. Stop loss roughly 20 pips. 20, maybe a little bit more, but let's call it 20, 25. You needed about 40 to 50. Down there, not much, but down there, you got your 40, 44, and that's definitely, that's more than 1 to 1.5. And that's almost 1 to 2 risk reward on this trade. Yes, there are some spreads that you have to consider, so that's why I would not say, you can see you've got a 3, 4, 5 pip spread with this. So by the time you got in, you even got the sweet spot entry, which was very nice. You see the halfway mark there. With the size of the spreads on the crosses, that would have meant nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. But if you took the trade there, considered some spreads here, you've made about 40 for about a 25 pip risk, which is 1 to 1.5, and that's great stuff, right? And if you did not exit on a take profit there, you would have exited into the evening, because you never keeps a 1 hour trade over a weekend. Right, so at night there, roughly there, you would have had a slightly less, maybe a 1 to 1 risk reward, but you've gained money. And by accident, you've traded a sideways market on the 1 hour charts very successfully. I will still do that. Euro, CAD, I'm still up for that level. That level still stays intact. If it breaks down, I'll then obviously wait for retest and reversals. But now I'm still up for that, guys. You can still go with that one. Aussie yen, you ran up the page, got an Aussie yen short there, bearish engulfing on the 4 hour charts. Nice retracement on a 50% retracement. Trade is slightly underwater, but Aussie still the weakest. Yen, well, the yen is the yen. But you would have had a stop loss up there. So from the entry here, if you selected that entry there, got about a 50 pip risk. From the halfway mark, you've got roughly a 30-35 pip risk. So you need about 60 to 80 pips, and that will easily come down to these lows, even much bigger. So no need to fight for new highs and all those things, right? Or new lows for that matter. If you took that one there, you had like a 50, That's 100. That's a 1 to 2 risk reward in a 4-hour trade. That's good enough for me. If you took the sweet spot halfway mark, got about a 30 for a 120. That's a 1 to 4 risk reward. So if you want to lighten up at that area, look at this level coming in there. So that would even help you to lighten up, let's say, at a 50, 60 pips for a 20, 30 pip risk. So these are the levels that you can look at targets. If it goes up the page, then you would obviously stop out. Now remember, Aussie and New Zealand always, or not always, most of the time do the same thing, because you got exactly the same. You see Aussie yen and New Zealand yen, same setup. Okay, that would be pretty silly taking both of them full positions. So if you take just the one, you can go full position, just the other one, full position. Otherwise, half, half. Between these two, it should not be more than 1% of your portfolio exposed, right? Always, always, always important. Be aware of the Aussie and New Zealand. They are really close to each other. And when you start shorting both or going long on both, it becomes sometimes a problem. The same scenario on the New Zealand yen. You've got the retrade, you've got the entry there on a Friday afternoon. If you want to do it on a Friday afternoon, oh, I see the New Zealand yen is getting close to each other. So definitely no more 50%. So that's just changed over because the pound, you see there, but that's getting too difficult. So I would rather not do that. I would stay then with that trade there. But most likely you've got the full position there. That's for the risky trade. Not the risky traders, but really gutsy traders, waiting, the patient traders, waiting after the entry for a retracement. It takes a special kind of trader and a special kind of skill, not skill but knowledge, but to wait and see the market ticks in your favor, but you're not in getting that right. My personal choice is always to take a little bit on the close and then a little bit on the sweet spot. That's just my way of doing it. Not interested in any of these two for new entries anymore. It was a bit hectic. So at this stage, I would say Aussie yen. You can see the yen dropping there. Aussie yen, okay, it's not bad, but the New Zealand yen is the one that makes me nervous at present. So if you still want to do something which is legit, I would say we could still take some shorts on the Aussie yen for argument's sake. You can wait for another candle reversal and so forth. But the New Zealand, I would pretty much step away a little bit for the day and say, that's good enough, got the position, and then work from there. So stop loss here will be about, let's call it 50. You need about 75. So the logical place here is going to be just less than 1 to 1.5. But I think that'll be good if you really want to be bearish on the New Zealand in general. You can put in the Fibonacci there and then push for a 1.27, even slightly lower if you want to. If you look at this historical levels here, very nice level coming in. But then you must be very, very bearish on the New Zealand dollar. But most likely you can see how it comes down. If it comes down in nice long black candles, then you can move your targets down here. If it comes down a little bit iffish, not on that nice, and you can see here in general, New Zealand yen is not a strong trending kind of pair. You can see here, yes, a little bit of a run, but usually when you get your profits, it's good to take it. In the Aussie Swiss, if you look at the Aussie Swiss, definitely way weaker than the Swiss. Approaching that market structure, nice Fibonacci swing, 50 to 61% at that level. If we test that level and we get a strong candle reversal, that'll definitely a place for me to look for some shorts today. Pound cat, a little bit off the level I'm watching. Pound way below the cat. So if I get a retracement, highly unlikely that'll happen today. But if it gets up there, I'll leave it on my watch list. It's definitely a strong level. You can see support, becoming resistance, and then another retest there, and Fibonacci swing 50 to 61%, right at the 61%. It looks really good at that area. Then look for some top reversals there on candles or some form of pattern. And the New Zealand Swiss, but reluctant on this one also. You can see here the New Zealand wants to push. I'm a little bit reluctant on this, especially when you are short on the Aussie yen and the New Zealand yen. Be aware then of the New Zealand Swiss. Then there's no need getting into this. I would rather prefer the Aussie yen, as I've explained, than the New Zealand Swiss. You can see here, not that great, but nonetheless on my watch list, things might change. Nice candle reversal here at the 61% FIB. I'll consider some shorts here. Then my favorite trade idea for today is a potential short on the Euro Swiss. But first, if you are new to this channel and find this video helpful, you can support the channel by giving this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so I can keep making content like this. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell to ensure you don't miss out on any of my videos. Then the Euro Swiss. Euro way weaker than the Swiss. Very comfortable looking for shorts on the euro. Almost, well, I can't say busy, but almost testing the 50% level on the Fibonacci swing from that high to this low. So if it can hit that level there, I will then look for some short setups there, because the euro is really running into a lot of weakness and the Swiss is holding very well. So it's two very stable currencies at present, and that's mostly why it's my favorite one for the day. It's close to the level, but they look very stable. They're not flashing up and down, up and down, up and down at this stage. It seems like they're quite stable in their position, in their strength and the weakness, and that's why I'm looking to short this. But guys, trading isn't just about my insights. I want to hear from you. Drop your questions, share your experiences, or tell me which trading opportunities you're eyeing in the comments below. And I've been trading since 2003. And if you are eager to take your trading skills to the next level, check out the link in the description to join my mentorship program. You can support this channel also by opening a trading account with a trusted broker from the link below, which I've been using since 2010. Thank you for joining me today on this trading journey. Don't forget to trade responsibly. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Until then, trade well.